The price of gold fell further on Thursday, dropping to one-week lows against the dollar and euro while hitting two-week lows in UK pounds, as betting that the US Federal Reserve will keep interest rates higher for longer trumped a wave of uncertain and tense politics, capped by China encircling the breakaway island of Taiwan with 2 days of military drills. Western stock markets struggled to extend last night's rise in AI chip giant Nvidia, while copper prices sank to 7-session lows, down 8.9% from last Friday's new record, and silver prices dropped to $30.17 per troy ounce, down 7.2% from Monday's 12-year peak. While inflation had eased over the past year, said minutes from the Fed's start May policy meeting released late Wednesday, in recent months there had been a lack of further progress toward the committee's 2% objective. Various participants mentioned a willingness to tighten policy further should risks to inflation materialize. With US politics set to get hotter as the first Biden-Trump debate of the 2024 election draws near in June, long-term borrowing costs today extended Wednesday's rise as betting on the Fed's first rate cut from today's two-decade high pushed September out to a 50-50 chance. March was priced as a dead cert up until the middle of January. Year-end Fed rates are now forecast at 5.03% by trading in interest rate futures, signaling barely one cut between now and Christmas, rather than the 6 cuts expected at the start of 2024. Dollar-priced bullion today dropped to $2,342 per troy ounce, the end 2024 gold price forecast made by users of BullionVault last New Year. Down just over $100 from Monday's new spot market peak, today's low still puts the gold price average to date at $2,171 in 2024, more than $110 above the full-year average forecast by this year's LBMA survey of professional analysts. China this morning announced 2 days of Army, Navy, Air Force, and rocket drills to the north, south, and east of Taiwan, calling this show of force strong punishment and a stern warning against interference and provocation by external forces. The move comes 3 days after Taiwan's newly elected president, William Lai-ching, took office by asking Beijing to stop its intimidation of the island. While Ireland, Norway, and Spain yesterday announced they will recognize Palestine as an independent state, a move Israel will not go over in silence, said Tel Aviv, warning there will be other serious consequences as it continues its war in Gaza. None of them recognize Taiwan as separate from the People's Republic of China, leaving diplomatic relations between Taipei and only 11 nations plus the Holy See in Rome, none of whom can therefore have any formal contact with Beijing. Lethal aid is now, or will be, flowing from China to Russia and into Ukraine, says Grant Shapps, Defense Secretary of the UK, which made $40 billion of exports to China last year, with $75 billion of imports, citing evidence from British intelligence. Russia's defense ministry yesterday deleted a proposal to move its maritime border with neighboring Finland unilaterally. But with the Kremlin's war on Ukraine continuing to draw cross-border fire onto the Russian town of Belgorod, a decree allowing the seizure of US-owned property was signed today by President Vladimir Putin in retaliation for the US-EU freezing and sanctioning of Russia-owned property abroad. The UK gold price in pounds per ounce meantime sank to more than 2-week lows at £1,843, down 4.2% from Monday's peak and 5.7% below the record of the 12th of April, even as sterling snapped its rise to 2-month highs on the FX market following yesterday's stronger-than-expected CPI inflation data, plus the announcement of a general election on the 4th of July by the deeply unpopular Conservative government. Euro gold prices, meantime, hit their lowest since Monday last week at €2,162 per ounce, some €90 below Monday's high and almost €125 off April 12th's record. Big gains in next month's European Parliament elections are unlikely to see Marine Le Pen's national rally in France and the Alternative for Deutschland in Germany joined forces as a far-right bloc in Brussels, the Politico website says, after this week's comments from AfD lead candidate Maximilian Krah excusing members of Nazi Germany's World War II Waffen SS from automatically being criminals widened a rift between the groups. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel.